we are rolling, guys.
That's your intro? That's the energy you bring?
Come
today?
on. What's up, Doc?
I like your hair today.
Thank you. I feel like you're lying.
No, it's genuine.
It's genuine. Yeah.
It's genuine hair praise.
It is. Oh, thank you.
I don't do a lot of hair praise, so you should feel good about it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I did not put my finger in a socket or get a perm.
This is just your natural hair? This is what you deal with every day?
Every day. So when you see it straightened and look nice.
Why don't you go with the curly?
That a lot
Why don't you
goes
go with
into
the
it.
curly?
Because I look like a Muppet. And Jim Henson's not hiring right now.
Are you scared that Morgan Murphy would sue you?
Maybe.
There's not a lot of curly-haired women comedians.
Really?
I don't think so. Are there?
I don't know. I guess I don't notice.
Seems like a lot of straight-haired women comedians.
It's all straight hair. Oh, look at Morgan. Look at her curl. She does have great curls.
There's Eleanor.
Me and Morgan, side by side. We can tour curly hair comment.
She doesn't straighten it. She just goes natural.
No, hers would probably, I'm looking at her texture, it would be harder to straighten every day.
Okay.
Mine is not as curly as hers. Hers
See, look
is
at you.
definitely
You're
harder.
already putting yourself down.
No, hers curls nicely, perfect. Mine is like some in between, some like.
You're saying you're more wavy.
Yeah.
But at the bottom, it's real curly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you're saying at
plus
the top.
The rain.
So you got a lot of different textures.
Okay, I think we've spent enough time on my hair. Is there going to be a documentary about my hair?
We're covering Chris Rock's Hair. Was that what it was called?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it was called Hair or something like that.
He did Hair the Musical.
Shut up. That was a great documentary, though. A lot of people got mad at it, but I liked it.
Why did people get mad? I didn't see it, but why did people get mad at it?
Just because it was like, how dare you like go out and out black girls' hair and what we struggle with and what they struggle with.
Why,
I say we. Like
why shouldn't people know, though?
I don't know.
Why is it a secret?
It's not my business why they got upset, but
it is your business.
I don't do it.
You have a black hair shop.
I have a lot of black friends, and what they go through.
Now, are you gonna drop an N-bomb? Is that how you set that up?
100%. Here it comes. Ready? No.
I have a lot of black friends.
It really is not easy. Not easy.
You know what's
not easy? What they go through with the hair.
Pimping ain't easy.
Pimping ain't easy, but it's expensive too, and it's not fair. Like. Because if you don't have money, I mean, it is bad. I understand like people that can't afford things, but it's really bad. Like to get a wig or anything like that is so expensive. Sherry Shepherd started a whole line of wigs and some really low price.
Affordablewigs.com.
Yeah. Because it's hard. It costs a lot of money to get your hair done.
But you can just go find an Indian person, cut their hair off while they sleep.
That's racist, I'll tell you that.
No, they use a lot of Indian wigs.
They certainly do.
That's a fact. It's not racist.
My sister Karen buys hair. She's a whack job. And she puts extra, like the
Is she an Orthodox Jew?
Yeah, she puts the clip-ons.
Or she does extensions.
Yeah, the extensions. I couldn't think of the word. But so she'll be like, she was a hairdresser. So we were under a bridge in South Philly on 25th Street. Just look, she's going, get me that one. And she's saying the numbers.
An outdoor wig store?
Yeah. No, not outdoors. It was just, it's right under the bridge. It's
I thought you were buying them like under an overpass.
No. It's like, I never go, there's only a few things I go in that area for. And one of them is Phil's Steaks. It's one of the best in Philadelphia.
Phil's Steaks and Wigs.
You can go right across the street, get you a wig, and then get you a cheesesteak. But... So my sister was buying hair, and these black girls were behind her, and they were like, everybody wants hair. White girls, Chinese girls.
Were they mad?
Because there was Asian ladies in there.
Were they upset?
No, they were being funny. No, they
move
were
it along. We need it. You don't.
And they were teasing my sister because she knew like exactly what she wanted. Because some people go in and they're like, I want this. I want that.
What was she looking for?
She knew exactly what color she needed. She knew exactly the texture she wanted. She's a hairdresser, though. So
I get pube extensions.
That's great.
Depending on the time of year.
Do you sew them in or do you clip them in? How do you do it?
Both.
I like a sew. I think a sew would look good.
So like,
a weave. Yeah. Like right under the sack. If you
I had a coach in high school who, when I was younger...
Yeah.
He had a full head of hair, but it was always wet. And my dad has a great eye for hair pieces. And he's
Me too, by the way.
And he's like, I guarantee that's a hair piece. like 5 to 10 years later, all of a sudden he just comes in completely bald, just like a little bit of hair on the side. This guy was wearing a weave for years.
Good for him, man.
But like, it's weird to come out like all of a sudden. It's a drastic change.
They have not perfected it with men. They have perfected it with women. You cannot tell now. They have really done a lot with women. Like I can notice it, but there's some that have gotten by me. But the men, they just are like, here, just put this skunk hat on, basically,
or scar your head, and it may or may not work.
My first ex-fiance got the Bosley plugs.
Yeah,
but it was a long time ago, and
Bosley not a sponsor, everybody.
Not a sponsor, guys, but he's gotten better at his hair plugs, because in the beginning, and I don't think it's him, I think it's what was available, but they like hammer it in. And I was watching them hammer these hair follicles. My ex was bleeding down. I was crying. I was like, don't do it. Who cares? Just be bald. But
Jesus.
Guys get hair and girls get tits. So I get it. But
some guys get bald.
But Bill Burr used to have a bit about it looks like roach legs that are stapled in. And that's exactly what it looked like. It's exactly what and you could see it. Like you could see the line. It wasn't blended.
Burr's pro bald.
But now it's getting better.
I say just be bald.
But yeah, Larry bald is sexy.
Larry
David. Even Larry David.
He's pro bald. I like that he keeps the sides. I like that. It's a good look.
My brother Jimmy does that too, and he blow dries.
You have to go get that cut, that's tough. Yes. That's annoying.
My sister cuts Jimmy's hair, and then Jimmy feathers it. He ducktails it.
He feathers just hair on the sides.
Blow dries the sides.
Wow.
Disco Jimmy, man.
He's hanging on. He's hanging on to what he's got. Go. Good for him. Earlier at school drop off, this is 7:50 in the morning.
Okay.
Baby Barb's teacher said to me, "Are you in radio broadcasting?" I was like, "What?" And she said, "Baby Barb," getting a little loose lip, said, "He has a microphone." I was like, I'm not in radio." So something like that.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, don't look into it.
Please don't look into it.
Don't look into it.
Please don't look into it.
Because she may get taken away from me. And I have to talk to her, be like, not everyone likes what Daddy does.
Right.
It's not for everyone to know.
Yeah, but you could just say podcasting.
I don't even know if she would know. She's like an older woman, you know?
Then you should have said, yes, I'm on a channel.
I just said something like that. That's all she needs to know. But she has my name. She could easily Google me and find a lot of filth.
Yeah, but if she's old, she wouldn't know that.
I hope not.
You'd be amazed how many people don't Google. You'd be amazed.
Really?
It's frightening.
I Google everybody.
I'm done with everybody. If you don't Google, you need to be in like.
I Google you before every show just to make sure nothing's changed.
Nothing new popped up. Do you Google me to see if any of my videos go viral? Because
they
haven't. Can you help a bitch out?
See if any of your OnlyFans stuff's taken off yet.
It's never going to get taken down. Mine
is
perfect.
I'm skipping ahead, but that would be a good documentary. Because like the OnlyFans is obviously like a 1% is making a ton of money. But then you have the 99% of people who are putting out these videos.
Are you sure? That's right?
Not like a stat, but it's very little people are like successful.
Because I have friends that are doing it, and I'm kind of jealous.
But do you know how many people out there are doing it?
Yeah.
But these people now have all these videos out. What jobs are they ever going to get? But do you know how many
perverted men are out there? Doesn't matter. What is that?
It's slim. Rob's bringing up pie charts.
I love the pie charts. Hair pie charts. They always go hand in hand.
But I mean, think of all the people out there, of all the young men and women out there who are putting out these videos, and then they have to go try to get other jobs.
So by the way, I heard of a man that does it.
Okay.
A gay. He's not. I didn't know he was gay.
You can just say Ari Shaffir.
But why would you say that?
Check out my OnlyFans.
His isn't gay.
Look at my balls.
What do you call that when you sleep with your pets?
Oh, he's bestiality.
Bestiality. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah, it's a niche.
It's a niche. Yeah, but this person was like a fighter and then became a comic and then started an OnlyFans, and I believe it's gay porn.
Wow.
So
I'm racking my brain.
It went that direction. And I was like, wow, I just heard that. And I was like, I'm going to Google that because I'd be interested to see that one.
How's it going?
I haven't done it yet. I just heard the other night. Wow. I just heard that the other night. So I got to get my Googling down
Man.
and find this giant.
Should we get into the doc?
Penis
I got to
one.
take
Yes,
out
I'm
my
very
I got to take
excited.
out my college backpack here.
So you've had this backpack since college.
No, this is I'm
Even
not
earlier?
again not a sponsor, but this is LL Bean.
They're very good.
Lifelong guarantee.
100%.
So I broke the zipper, I believe, in middle school, and then got it renewed. My whole family makes
Wow.
fun of me because I've had this thing forever. And they're like, get a new backpack. Well, why do I need a new backpack? I got a lifelong backpack right here.
That's amazing.
Uh,
So if you break anything on it,
yeah, lifetime guarantee.
so is
That's
it a
what
million?
the LL stands for,
I
lifelong.
guess.
I thought it was ladies love.
Ladies love cool bean.
Lady love beans. Wait a minute. So the backpack is how much? $60? 80?
Not a lot.
How do they make money?
Who knows? Who cares? Not my responsibility.
You're probably the only one that's like, hey,
Yeah.
my zipper broke.
They're like, oh shit, he's calling us back.
Because I know a lot of people, including a very good friend, that would be like, it broke. I got to get another one.
You know,
Just in case you know the accent.
Who could that be? Who could that be that you know?
I got to get another. I'm like, wow, look at these backpacks. I'm going to get an LL Bean
They're
backpack.
beautiful. You can get your initials on there like some kids did back in the day. I never
No.
did that. I never got it customized. Look at that. Beautiful bag.
$55.
I'm going to be real honest here. And it's
Beautiful.
going to make people uncomfortable, I think.
Okay.
But I don't know if I ever had a backpack until I was an adult.
Oh, boy. What did you carry your books in? A garbage bag? And you just not carry books?
That's the problem, I think.
You're like, yeah, Philadelphia schools didn't give out books.
I got to ask my mother, but I remember it was a bag, but it
You
was
had
never a backpack.
50 kids in your
And
family.
wherever
No one
that
had a
bag wa-
backpack?
No. And whatever
No
that
backpacks.
bag was must have been handed down from Karen and Kathleen or
What
Jimmy and
the
Johnny.
hell?
It was a school bag.
Was it a
like,
ho-
we never had a backpack.
Was it a hobo stick? Bandana?
Handle.
I got to ask,
A
but I
wagon?
don't remember a backpack until adult life.
Wow. Man.
And it was,
Sorry to hear it.
I'm going to say 15 years ago
It sounds like you
that I
would-
started backpacking it.
that could be your entrance into what we're going to talk about, the documentary today.
Yes,
That
this-
fact could have led you into
My
this
youth
dark-
was stolen, but in a different way.
yes, by crime and poverty.
Poverty, definitely. It definitely had something to do with poverty. The backpack and the passed out. Because I do remember, like,
Were you
bags.
jealous? Or you're like, look at that kid with the backpack. They got it made.
It was never about their bag. It was always about, like, their coats or their outfits. Or
You were
they always
just-
had, like, a fancy coat.
You're
A
like,
bubble
God,
coat.
look at that coat. I'm freezing.
A bubble coat, right? Remember that? But now they're back.
Yeah, the George Costanza
So
puffy
the
jacket.
puffy jacket.
Yeah.
So I remember everybody had a purple and pink, and I was like, wow.
What'd you have? Just,
I don't remember.
Just a T-shirt?
No, it was probably like just a jacket. I don't
Just
know.
like a sweater?
One time my mom bought me a nice jacket. I still have it. FYI. It was $110.
Does it still
It's a
fit?
big deal. Yes. And it was a big deal back then. And it was
Back then, that's like $800.
Absolutely. And my mom put it on like a charge
Uh-oh.
because she felt bad that I didn't
This
have.
is the truth. She's still paying it?
I think the store went out of business before she finished paying. it.
Wow, look at that. That's how you play the market. That's Philadelphia
But
stocks.
I want to say, because my mom got a lot of dresses there, so she would pay as she went. And it was like, I mean, I could $10 a week.
Were you scared it was going to
A
get
lot of
stolen?
weeks.
Did you have to up your fighting game just in case?
In the house? Absolutely.
Someone came for the jacket or
Hell yeah.
or outside.
Yeah, because our door didn't lock or anything. We kind of were waiting for people to come in.
The door didn't lock?
No,
Why not?
I don't know. Now it does.
You're like, we don't have any backpacks to steal. Why do we need to lock the door?
Because I think
Trying to
somebody
lure
broke it.
victims in.
I think
That's
somebody
true.
broke it.
Trapdoor spider
They're like, we
situation.
need them to come in to steal their
Oh,
stuff.
my favorite thing now is I got my mom that Nest thing or ring,
Yeah.
whatever it's called. And so I'll hear my brothers trying to like fighting with lock on the door and like, we never locked the door. What the fuck? Why are we locking the door? I'm like, it's a different time, you idiot.
You need to put it online. Kerrigan ring cam
I might
footage.
do it. I might do it. Because they're always yelling at me. We never locked this fucking
They're
door.
just yelling at the door.
And like, yeah, you're just going to leave an 80-year-old woman in there by herself, like in a time. It's a different time. Like, it's not 30 of us in there anymore.
Yeah, she's fine.
she would fight them all.
You know where she needs to move?
Where?
A college campus.
There you go. There you go. Oh, there. Let's get into this.
We're doing
I'm
Stolen
very
Youth.
excited.
There's a hyphen in it, but it's stolen. You can find it. Stolen Youth. It's on Hulu.
There is a hyphen in it?
I think it's Stolen Youth, something else, something.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, what? But yeah, because it just came up, Stolen Youth.
Yeah, I think it's longer. By the
So-
way,
Oh,
we have to.
you meant a colon.
Yes, that.
Got it.
Inside
Sorry.
the
I have a
cult
colon.
at Sarah Lawrence.
Yes.
Is it Sarah Lawrence College or University?
College.
It's college.
It's, like my friend Lexi was going to go there.
I've always heard of Sarah Lawrence. I had no idea it was like 15 miles outside of Times
Yeah.
Square.
It's right there.
But it's like they showed the campus like forest. It's in Yonkers.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Neil Simon, Yonkers.
Isn't DMX Yonkers? Or
Whoa. That's
some
tough.
other rappers. But
Maybe.
yeah, I had no idea. It's a small liberal arts school. Mm-hmm. They said like very artistic.
Yep.
People go there.
People dancing around, free spirits.
Yeah, a lot of free spirits. Seems
Lot
like
of-
a lot of hippies. A lot of hacky sack.
Probably if I heard of it, I'd try to get in there. I did try to get in Juilliard. That worked out.
Remember those fiddlesticks? Probably a lot of that.
No.
You don't remember fiddlesticks from the 90s?
I remember the word. What are those, fiddlesticks?
Early 2000s. So, yeah. It's
Did you have fiddlesticks in your backpack?
No.
Fucking spoiled rotten.
Backpack? That means a good life? Your bar is very low.
Super wealthy.
Yeah, I was loaded.
It was hard to put a typewriter in a backpack.
Jeez,
How
what are you
dare
driving, a Ferrari with that LL Bean? It's not leather.
I really, in my brain, cannot think of what my school bag looked like.
We got to solve this mystery. Report back, please. People out there want to know.
I'll have to ask my friends. Maybe they remember.
We have to issue a warning before we get into this.
What's the warning?
Because both of us almost
angry.
lost relationships over this documentary. So if you're gonna
That's
watch,
not wrong.
so
That's
if you're
not
gonna
wrong.
watch it, just know it could trigger you.
It could trigger
It could trigger anger.
your partner. It could trigger your business partner. It could trigger.
From your mother, whoever sees it. Like, apparently, we both
Oh,
had
you know
somebody in
what?
our lives get extremely upset about it. You had
That-
2 people in your life.
That would be amazing if I got my mom to watch it and I record it.
Why you think she'd go crazy?
Unbelievable. She'd flip out. Oh, these kids are idiots.
That-
oh, Jesus.
That's
Christ.
what happened.
Oh, they,
That's what happened with Courtney. Got so mad at the. She's like, "This isn't even
with her.
real. This isn't even real."
me
She
too.
was
I thought
getting-
it was fake. I was like, this cannot be real.
She got so mad at me, and I was like, "I didn't make the documentary. You had the same thing happen to you. You referred it to a friend.
I referred it to a friend and his girlfriend, who I work with a lot,
Yes.
and they
Stopped watching after what? 40 minutes.
his girlfriend stopped watching after 40 minutes. He stopped watching, I think, 8 minutes in.
That's
8 or 9 minutes in. It's not a lot of time.
That's real Hollywood exec. The first 10 minutes.
Well, look, I'm going to say this. Dice doesn't have a long attention span.
Whoa, you just.
But
gave
it's
it
got-
away.
it's fine.
It's your friend Mike Dice Johnson.
Mike Tyson. Andrew got very upset with me. I recommended this. I thought it would be fun. Not fun, but I thought.
By the way,
the first episode though is awful because you get pissed.
and it's confusing a little.
Very
bit.
confusing.
There's a lot of different people.
There's too many people.
A lot of people.
If you guys don't know, it's a bunch of people that were living in a house.
Very cool dorm situation.
Amazing Dorset.
It was your own house. I think there was no RA. There was nobody.
But isn't that because they paid extra for that?
It said they're like we wanted to go. It's like it wasn't
little
off
bit
campus, but it was like off the beaten path kind of.
right. So it wasn't the norm.
But it was like a bunch of like these standalone houses basically.
Yeah,
But there was like 8 people in it. But still, you're in college. Who cares?
yeah, it's like my mother's house. That's great.
It was sweet. Yeah, you're like, oh, my brothers live there.
This is glorious. You guys are wealthy.
It's-
How many backpacks are in here?
It opens up with this dude Santos. You don't know much about it. They just show him. You don't really know anything about it.
Yeah.
He's looking at pictures of college, like kind of wistfully. Like, oh, that was a good time. It was a good time.
Oh.
But then alludes to like, and then it got real dark. And you're like, wait, what? What happened?
Wait. Okay.
And they give away right up front news clips. They give you the ending up front.
Pretty much.
That like reveal that one of these people's dads started a sex cult made up of the daughter's classmates. Which is, your classic tale.
Now I'm really mad that I didn't try to get into Sarah Lawrence.
Yeah.
'Cause I could have been
This
in
is
a sex
good.
cult.
Good publicity for them, for sure.
Definitely. This is a lot. I bet they got a lot of submissions this year or that last 10 years.
They're canceling some of their, people going there because this is going to get so many people. They're like, we don't even need to market ourselves.
Oh, shit.
They're like, come join.
Boy, I didn't even think of that. Oh, my God, that's so bad. But
They've had to put out since this happened in general, but I think in the doc they've had to put out statements of like Sarah Lawrence did not know blah 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 blah.
Yeah, how could they know? First of all, here's the thing. What's the daughter's name again? Because that's the thing.
Talia.
Talia. Okay, so all the names. That's the other thing.
It was
and
hard.
And they kind of look alike.
Yes.
I mean, all white people do look alike. I believe that, but this was like weird.
Yeah.
Only that one girl.
And Santos was, I think, his parents were Dominican or Puerto
Dominican.
Rican? Yeah.
Dominican. Don't confuse Dominican and Puerto Rican.
I couldn't
Start
remember.
a fight.
I
Don't
couldn't
try to
remember.
fight.
I'm sorry, Santos.
Dominican.
He has bigger fish to fry than that. I thought the beginning was kind of visually cool, though. Did you? I kind of liked some of the stuff they were doing with the pictures. They were doing kind of some artsy.
The drawing,
Yeah, some of that. I just thought it was a little different.
No.
You didn't like it? Okay.
Not really.
All right.
No, because I thought it was going to help me figure out who was who, or what was because the people kept switching in and out, but it didn't help me at all.
I have that problem in books when they introduce too many people at once.
It's way too
It
many.
drives me. You got to slow. You got to really, especially at the beginning of something, you have to really hit home who's who.
Yeah.
Did you like Sarah Lawrence's motto of "You are different, so are we"? Come join a cult. Is that still
By
the motto?
way, I guess my mom, when I was moving, I wanted to move to California since I was, 15, 16.
What a mistake.
I know. I was like, I'm moving to California. I would always say it, right? And my mom was like, you can't go. They have cults. What are you going to do? It's earthquakes and cults. What are you going to do?
You could have joined a cult pretty close to
I
home.
didn't know. Yonkers, right there.
Yeah.
Mom, I could have just taken a train.
Without the earthquakes. So it gets into pretty quick. This guy Santos, who seems like in college, seemed like a real kind of a nerdy dude.
Definitely.
It said Sarah Lawrence wanted nerds and outcasts, according to these people.
Well, they were definitely people that maybe weren't good at being social because they thought they were different. So it's like, here you can all come, bring your differences, bring your weirdness.
Yes.
Whatever your weirdness is.
And you'll be accepted here.
Yeah. Introverts, whatever. Just bring them all and we'll figure you out.
So Santos meets this girl Talia, who
She was really cute.
my opinion, out of his league. He had never had
way out of his
He had
league.
never had a girlford before.
Yes. But
And
I think
he said
that's
he
what
approached
she
her.
liked.
In hindsight, when you know what we're going to talk about later, was she recruiting him?
No.
Or you think it was real? It was a real relationship?
No, I think it was a real relationship.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
What? Wait, because she didn't help recruit for the dad had her under manipulation as well.
Yes.
But she also left before a lot of the other people.
I wonder if she saw a bunch of marks or if he saw, you know what I mean? It's hard to say. I don't know. I think she may have been a little complicit. And a lot of people are like, why wasn't she charged with anything? Yeah.
After, yes, because after he got out. Okay, so let's talk. The dad gets out of prison.
Yes.
He's in prison for all this crazy, military, manipulative,
So she would
convincing people to do crazy shit.
She would talk about her dad all the time to these people in the house, and the
Uncomfortably.
picture she painted was like he's this James Bond character. He's done this. He's done.
That's how I talk about my dad.
He's done all these military operations. It's almost like he was CIA, kind of like
Yeah.
this larger than life character who she said was wrongfully imprisoned. Like, she can't wait to see him again.
Right there, that's the manipulation on the daughter.
Yes.
So she's convinced that her dad is this amazing person.
She's lived with this guy her whole. When you find out later what this guy's like, you're like, imagine living with that your whole life.
Yeah.
They said, I looked this up outside of the documentary early on.
Which is why she chose Sarah Lawrence, because she was like, hey, I'm kind of weird, I think.
And so are we.
Wait till you meet my dad.
In elementary school, she would tell students, like, we have poison in my walls, because her dad was feeding her that. And so you imagine, like, growing up with, that's worse than not having a backpack.
That's not wrong. There's poison in every wall.
So you grew up with Larry. So this guy, Larry Ray, which is not his real name, they later find out he has some Italian last name, gets out of prison. Where does he go? Naturally, crashes on the couch in this college dorm.
Okay, that is a insanely giant red flag. Like, as if China's planning red flags. I mean, like, giant red, all red flags. Never in life. Think about that. For you, anybody. Would you allow someone's parent
for more than like a day? No. Even a day, you're like, well, they can't get a hotel or
100%.
Sleep in their car?
Right. Anything.
So in college, I have a story related to this.
You had somebody do this?
So
shut up.
In college,
where'd you go to college?
I started at U Maryland, but I transferred to Rollins College.
I felt like Brody in
Florida. My college was very much like Sarah Lawrence, very small, like 1,500 people. Okay. Sarah Lawrence was, I think, was around there, and you know, like everything about everyone, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because it's so small. It's like a high school.
Okay.
But so in college, growing up, I worked at this country club. A friend of mine, very good at golf, he would go there. And the golf pro.
You all just walked around with your backpacks?
Yes. I worked
wealthy kids.
I worked in the snack shack, which faces the pool, but the back faces the golf course. So you get business from both windows.
Got it.
So the golf pro got free food from the snack bar. And he would always come by. And I'm from the Boston area. This guy had a thick Boston accent.
Love it.
And he loved these strawberry Dole bars, like Dole juice.
Oh, I remember those.
And he'd be like, can I get one of those Dole bars? Like all the time. I'd call the guy, not to his face, Dole bars. It drove me crazy. Like I'd be busy and I have to go get this guy his goddamn popsicle. So he is in town in Florida where I went to college. My golf buddy he went to college with me. And he's like, hey, I'm coming to town. Do you mind if I stay with you? And we lived in a fraternity. So this guy wants to come stay in a fraternity house on my buddy's futon in the thing. And it was spring break, but it was, I think, the beginning of a spring break. And our other friend from high school roomed with my friend. Okay. And so he was like, I don't know, wherever he was. And he called.
But he was your age?
No, this guy's like 50 years old.
Oh, okay.
This guy's like kids. This guy's like a normal guy.
So this is Dole bars.
Yeah, Dole bars staying in the. People are like blackout drunk. People are like banging on doors, like get the fuck, like going crazy. This guy's trying to sleep at like, I don't know, 9 o'clock. It's we had landlines at this time. Yeah. So my buddy is out somewhere else on spring break, calls the landline. He's like, get the fuck up. Like to my friend, but to my friend, no idea this 50-year-old man's on the couch, which is right under the phone. So I do have experience with this, but I remember being like, why the fuck is this guy? This is crazy. Like, why is he doing this? What's the hotel cost for a few nights?
But even just, I don't know, imposing on people. I don't know. I had friends.
You imagine being that age and being like, I'm going to go sleep on an 18-year-old, whatever the age, futon.
Right. I'm saying that. All right. I didn't
go to college. Beer cans everywhere. This place was a shithole. Like, if you went to a hotel that had this level of service,
hardcore college,
like my golf buddy's mother once walked. She lives like Parents Week or whatever. She walks in, and right when you walk in, I think he was a senior. This guy lived in the bottom floor, 2 dudes. They had a huge coffee table was covered with like hundreds of Busch Light cans. I think there was like a bong.
You guys were poor.
And a Busch Light was a good college beer.
You put that right in your backpack.
And she told my buddy, she was like, oh, I'm going to be praying for that guy. This place was crazy. Like, just look.
But see, that's what I think of when I think of college. Yeah. In all honesty, I think of that wildness, right? I didn't go. Surprise.
Didn't you go to Temple for like a week?
I didn't live.
Okay.
I took the subway. But it wasn't a week, but it was a little more than a week.
Look at this city trash.
But
Going to Bill Cosby's alma mater.
right, Philadelphia.
He's your co-leader.
That's right. He could have went anywhere, but he chose Temple. That's the motto. Anyway, so I remember this, but like, and my friends that I grew up with, I have two that I can think of that had parents that I thought were the coolest of cool.
And they're like, I want them in my dorm.
Right, because my mom was straight-laced. She didn't drink. She didn't do anything. And then my other friend's
She just
mom,
pumped kids out.
They party, whatever. My mom was a single mom. They were single moms too. But like if we went out, like sometimes we'd be with them.
How many kids did they have?
Not a lot.
That's the
big difference. I get that. And they
You
were
can
single
party.
moms too, but it was just a different, weird way. But if either one of those moms said, we're going to come stay with you.
For an extended
Who
period
I
of time.
adore, both of them. I love them. But I would never, I'd be like, no fucking way.
It's just weird. Just a bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't get why they are all like, everyone was like so cool with it. They're like, oh, this is great. Your dad's going to come live on our couch. Like, who's into that?
I mean, unless they
And her
needed
boyfriend.
somebody to buy beer, but
Her boyfriend's living like it's just bizarre.
yeah, I whatever. And he's going to stay on the couch. Yeah, cool. And
I
then,
think it started as like he's coming for a little bit, and then that little bit turned into a long.
don't judge him because he just got out of jail. She was using what he taught her, the
Yeah,
manipulative
I'd be like,
tactics.
I don't give a fuck. Also, so we're saying just if a father or mother wanted to stay in your dorm, that's a
Any
red flag.
father or mother.
But imagine out of prison. That's
We
a
have to
whole
add
new.
that
That's a
element.
whole new level of like, wait, what?
Because the other kids are like, okay, we're free spirits and we don't judge. This
Adam-
is a judgment-free zone.
Out of prison, you're like, oh yeah, right. First stop, he's all horned up.
Yeah.
Get him.
So we got to get him from the bus? Like, I don't understand where.
He's got a bag with his possessions in it. You're like, what
No
the
backpack, just a bag. They don't give you a backpack out of jail.
That right
That
there.
I know.
That decision, I was like, this is a bizarrely open-minded decision. Very naive.
I mean, I get it that these kids are different, but this is too different.
yeah.
Sarah Lawrence isn't this different.
So Larry comes in, immediately starts making himself at home. He's talking a lot about his experience in the Marines,
Yeah.
CIA, a lot of PSYOP stuff.
Yep.
Huh? PSYOP?
Quest for potential. We have all that.
He's pulling out government letters.
Yep.
This guy brings his trapper keeper of his resume.
Keeper. In his backpack, he has a trapper keeper. Of all
He's
this
got a
shit.
scrapbook. He says he was Gorbachev's guy when he was in the
Oh, yeah.
U.S.
He showed us pictures
Yeah.
of him and Gorbachev. Why is that good?
But everyone's real into
Again,
it.
why is that good?
All these kids are like, oh, this is awesome. I would be like, fuck this fucking, get this guy out of here. I would've
If
get-
he was a Marine helping whatever, and he's got pictures of him and Gorbachev,
I'd be like, is this guy a Russian
did
spy?
he capture him? Like, I don't understand what a Russian spy, anything.
I'd be like, I want to get drunk. And your dad get the fuck out of here with his shitty stories and his scrapbook. I want to have a party.
Guys, I'm trying to get felt up.
I'm trying to fuck on the couch in the living room. And Larry,
Somebody.
prison Larry, holding court again. And they're all like, this guy's so
Can
cool.
Larry go to the yard for a while? At least walk around the yard?
Hey, Larry, there's a sock on the door. Get the fuck out.
Ari taught me about that. Yep.
You put a sock on the door?
Yeah.
You're having sex with the dog inside the room?
I did a bar crawl with him one time.
With Ari?
Ari Shafir.
What? This is when you guys were dating?
No, we never dated. Sorry. Sickening. No, we never dated. I make a lot of mistakes, and
Sorry.
that's not one of them.
It was just,
Anyway.
It was just lust.
So, you motherfucker. So, it was like Thanksgiving week or something. And me and Ari, we did in Santa Monica. So, I drove because I don't drink as much or drink, period. I can have one or two. But I figured we'd be there all night. He goes, "Babe, if you come back and there's a sock on your door, it means I'm in there fucking." And I was like, wait, what? On my car door?
On the car door? How do you even put a sock on a car door? You have to lift it up and then put it
He
under?
goes, is it okay if I put it there? You want me to leave the car
I don't know if the
open?
sock rule
I
extends
go,
to
you
the
want me
car.
to leave the car open? I don't understand. Like, we're in Santa Monica.
Put it on the antenna. You have to slide it all the way down like a condom. Did he end up putting the sock on the car door?
No, but there was this cute blonde he was trying to fuck. He was
Ari's-
following around all night.
Ari's an
That's
example.
why we were there.
He's an example of stolen youth.
Yeah, but I met a lot of cool people. He
His
would
youth
be.
was stolen by Orthodox Judaism.
He definitely. But okay, so something like that. Would you compare to this guy? I mean,
Just I'm
because
saying
religion can.
no,
get
but I'm
you.
saying Ari kind of missed out on his youth. Like I've been with.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
I remember him younger, like drinking, and you're like, oh, this guy never really did all that when most people did.
That's why he's not like handicapped at this age, because he's still catching. He's 18.
Yes.
We're all
Yes.
almost dead, and he's 18.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. But and my thing is like a lot of places, like religion and stuff like that, can get you. Religious places can get you like in a cultish kind of thing. This guy didn't use religion.
No.
What he used was ridiculous.
This guy he started planting the seeds, and he's saying the corrupt law enforcement was against him, like kind of like I'm a good guy, like kind of hey, I was in jail, but it wasn't my fault. These guys are after me. And
he would get you to tell him about yourself, like that one girl, that Isabella girl, when she started opening up to him, it was like he knew, okay, this is an easy fucking target here.
Like a lot of predatory people, he could tell who was susceptible to what he did. Because there were some people in the house who I loved who were like, this guy's a loser.
This guy's an idiot. I was like, yeah.
There was like 5 of them fell prey to him.
We need a documentary on them.
But then there was like
by themselves.
One of the guys had a beautiful Hawaiian shirt, like opened it. I'm like, this is what the guy wears to be on a documentary. Like his chest hair's out. He's like, I didn't really get Larry or what he was doing. I don't know.
It's so
But there were like 3 of them. It was like there was 2 girls, one from out of the house, who it says her name later. I have it on here, but and her and a girl who lived in the house. They're like, God, he's such a loser. Like, why are they all so into him?
What do you see in this?
He's just like
what is it that you're?
He was a short dude. He was bald with hair. He had hair on the side. Or did he shave it? I can't remember.
No, I think it was all gone.
Okay.
Or shaved or whatever.
He shaved it in prison.
Yeah, I'm looking at him. He's all bald. Or it was like a buzz cut.
There he is, Larry.
Yeah.
He'd wear like polo shirt. He's just like a dad.
I don't get it.
What they were like, but he would be like, I'm gonna go buy groceries. He bought us steaks. And I'm like, okay.
See, maybe I could have been manipulated by Larry.
Because you would have been like, oh, he's going to buy his backpacks.
You got a backpack and steaks? What?
They said Larry was the funny dad of the house. I'm like, well, he was the only dad of the house.
Well, that's so you got that title.
They're like, wow, he's hilarious. They said he would clean up and buy him dinner. Like, oh man, this guy's the best.
Cleaning, I get. Cleaning, I understand.
I don't give a fuck if you clean the whole place.
But the cleaning, you're like, all right. But then I'd feel like, oh, fuck, and now he's going to judge me if I'm messy.
The whole purpose of college is to get away from your parents.
100%.
Not bring them into your living situation.
100%. Get out from under the
freedom.
Wing. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you know what we need in here? Somebody's dad. Cleaning our house and being hilarious.
Because also, like, that's the whole thing. You want to get out of your parents from being judged. Yeah. Right? And you want to find your own way.
Yeah,
because
you're
basically living their life. So now you got this parent in who's like judging you and finding your little flaws and fucking.
He calls a house meeting.
Hammering up.
He pulls
a
real
first
world
house meeting. I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah, I'd be like, Larry, I'm doing other shit. I'm not coming to your fucking house meeting.
I'm doing coke. I can't. I'm not coming to your meeting.
He's also not.
He was cutting up Adderall for them. I might be skipping ahead.
He basically makes himself the house leader. If you call a meeting, you're like, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
So he starts teaching him his philosophy. He calls it a quest for potential.
Right, quest for potential.
He says there's things clouding your potential. He can take those away.
So he's like a life coach.
Yes. So you can be who you are, and he can heal your past trauma and get you clarity. That was his whole big selling point.
Now healing past trauma.
This is when he comes. The salesman Larry is like, look, I got some timeshares. You guys are gonna love them. And they're like, oh, this is cool. Larry's cool. The 3 people who hated him were like, fuck this, dude.
This is ridiculous.
They're like, should we move
out of 8? 3.
Yeah, well, one's his daughters. Yeah, so but the others.
But still, she was buying it too.
Yeah. So Larry, like you said, he targets this girl, Isabella. I think he saw something that he's like, I can make this domino fall fast.
This is where I nearly turned off the documentary.
She was Talia's best friend, by the way.
Yeah.
Said she was a social recluse.
Hiding in a room.
Kind of shy, reserved.
Like an Ali Sheedy type from Breakfast Club. No, is that Breakfast Club?
She was attractive, this lady.
She was cute, but I'm saying she would hide behind her hair and shit.
All of a sudden, Larry's spending nights in her room, which I'd be like, wait, what? The fuck's Larry?
Like they're having deep conversations.
Now he's banging.
Are they?
Now he's banging our roommates.
How deep? Open the door.
So deep he put her ass to sleep, like Ice Cube. They're like, oh, it seems like he's talking her through something.
There she is, like she's cute. Not bad.
Yeah, they love her in prison. Spoiler alert. Larry calls her mom
Spoiler.
and says Isabella was molested when she was younger.
Okay.
Which I don't know how he got out, but he said that's what happened. And he's like, oh, by the way, she can't come home for Christmas either because she'll kill herself if she's around you.
She's suicidal if she goes home.
And the mom's like,
So-
wait, what? We always got the mom was like, huh?
But but this is the other thing.
The mom-
This is where he opened up. Isabella
Yeah.
opened up saying my mom was an alcoholic.
Yes.
So then they prey on the mom because they know she's vulnerable.
Yes.
Easy to manipulate.
Feels guilty
Feels
about
guilty about different things. And then she's like, wait, when did she get molested? She didn't even ask when, who, how, why. Nothing.
Yeah.
If somebody called my mother and said, Eleanor's not coming home because she got molested as a kid and she's going to kill herself there. One, my mother would say, oh, she's always been suicidal. Who
She's like, just come home.
who molested her? What was that? Where'd that happen?
Also, wouldn't you be like, who the fuck are you, Larry?
Yeah, and
why are you
let me
calling?
talk to my daughter.
Why are you calling me?
And then she'd send all my family to be like, hey, go get your sister.
If she's gonna kill herself, she's gonna do it at home.
She's definitely going to do it at home. But I used to say this. I would do this to my mom. I would get mad and I'd go, I'm going to kill myself. And then I'd go upstairs and she'd go, don't do it up there because you didn't clean up and I'm not letting anybody up there. And you're going to
Jeez.
rot up there with those clothes you didn't pick up.
Wow, she wants a
Swear
clean
to
clean
God.
crime scene.
It was
That's
amazing. I always had this anxiety of like, I'm going to be dead, rotting on a bunk bed. Nobody's going to be able to come upstairs.
You need Larry cleaning your house. Larry's
We could have used you,
like a lot of these types. He's taping his calls with Isabella's mom, with everybody. He tapes everything,
which is weird.
well, especially if
It's
you're
evidence.
especially if you're doing things wrong. Yeah,
Right.
But he's a narcissist, so I think he's like, the world needs this information.
Oh, right. So he believes
I think he
what
had
he's
like
putting out.
delusions of grandeur. Yeah.
Well, you have to believe what you're saying
You have to believe if you're selling it, you got
to sell it.
So
I gotta
Isabella,
keep saying that to myself.
Isabella goes through a huge change. Vibrant, having a good time.
Sure.
Roommates are like, oh,
All of a
Larry.
sudden, tits are propped up.
Yeah, they're looking good. Nips are
Woo.
nice, perky. They're like,
Wearing
Larry's
yoga pants a little too small. Okay.
Like Larry's working his mojo. So then he starts.
Larry, what are these conversations about?
You see
Ooh.
Santos, the boyfriend. He's like, okay, number 2. Here we go.
Okay, we can get rid of this guy.
So if you tell Larry anything, so Santos is
Praise
like,
on it.
my dad cheated on my mom. So he takes that and he's like, let me unspin this.
Santos' story is the worst for me.
Oh, by far. So he goes after the whole family.
I
Larry.
cannot believe it.
His
cannot
2
believe
sisters
it.
get roped in.
The sister, what did she call her? Felicia. Is
Yeah,
her name.
it's Felicia.
Hi, Felicia. But she was calling her Phil or Phil. Or
Yeah,
something like that. It's that girl had so much promise.
She was going to be a doctor.
She was in LA.
She was in a residency program.
I don't want to laugh. I'm not laughing.
Oh,
I'm gonna fuck you up, Larry. That was bad. That was bad.
Larry tells Santos that he needs to avoid the unpleasant. And Santos said he idolized Larry as the man that he could be, which is sad. He's
Wait.
like this guy who's in prison.
I can't read my own writing. It's embarrassing, but I gotta start typing them.
Then he goes after Claudia, who's another.
Mm-hmm.
They said it was like an artist. Larry told her that she was schizophrenic. And he's like, you can't smoke weed anymore, by the way. Which this guy's not a doctor. He has no medical experience.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, okay, thanks,
yeah,
Larry.
that's great.
My friend's father, who just got out of prison, diagnosed him with schizophrenia. And he gave me a prescription not to smoke
But
weed.
I love when the girl goes, what? You're not schizophrenic. You saying that is only triggering my schizophrenia. Like she just started ruining it with all her friends. Oh, this poor thing.
So as we're watching this, the lovely Courtney's like, why? What is that? What are these people doing? She's like, why are they listening to this? She gets so mad.
I'm with Courtney.
And yelling at me.
I turned it off.
And I said, I don't know.
had to revisit.
I said it happened. It's not, like.
It infuriated me as well.
She's like, but why? Why are they doing it? I don't know.
I did.
They're damaged? I don't know why they're doing it.
When we were talking about Andrew watching it earlier, and the reason he got mad, obviously, is the same thing. Like, why would these kids fall for this?
Yes.
This is really stupid. He also told me I am banned forever from ever referring anything. That's how angry he got.
Yeah.
I can't refer a movie. I can't refer a documentary.
How does that make you feel? That's sad.
I mean, I would tell him to watch
That's
a lot of stuff. I won't tell him
That's
now.
a big part of your life gone.
My adulthood is stolen.
Yes.
Stolen adulthood. It's the next doc coming out.
Then there's this guy, Dan, who
Yeah.
he's a sad case as well. Super smart dude, but Larry's like, why are you so insecure? Dan said he worried about his sexuality since he was a kid.
Poor Dan.
Larry's like, look, you're not gay, Dan. And he was dating this girl, Raven. She
so
was
obviously Larry's a homophobe.
Raven
Dan gay.
is the girl who was outside of the house who's like, Larry's a tool.
Yeah.
And Dan's
That's
dating.
the one I like. Yeah.
Dan's dating Raven.
Yeah.
And Raven's like, fuck this guy, Larry. And Larry's like, you got to ditch this girl, Raven. She's dead weight.
She's hurting you.
She's garbage.
She's
You're
not
not
letting
gay.
you be you.
You got to stop having sex with that chick.
Oh,
So he makes him call
my.
her in front of him. Like they're in middle school. He's like, call her right now.
Be strong.
He
I got you.
breaks up with her. Where does Larry take Dan? Into a random idling limo in the middle of New York with the rest of the people who are already
6 hours they were sitting there, weren't they?
Yeah,
waiting?
they were just waiting in a limo for 6 hours. What is happening?
This is where the anger comes in. This is
6 hours?
anybody watching goes, "Are you fucking crazy?"
What are they doing? Pissing into the random glasses they have
I like
in
that
there?
you thought of that.
It's
Yes.
6 hours. It's crazy. It's a flight from this coast to the East Coast
That's insane.
in the limo.
I've gone the whole flight without peeing. I got to be honest. I'm just saying.
I could
Just
see
saying.
Larry driving the limo. And they're like, oh, that's cool. He has his own limo. Wait, what?
Where'd you get this?
Oh,
I have a lot of
Don't
friends.
worry about it. It's cool.
So, but this poor kid, I think he's obviously gay. Am I crazy?
They never, he came off pretty effeminately. They don't
Very
say whether he's
effeminate.
gay or not, but.
And he's like, when he said, this broke my heart, he said something along the lines of wearing bright colors. Makes
God,
you,
I love penis.
wearing bright colors puts you in touch with your masculinity.
That's what Larry said?
I guess Larry told him it's okay. So not that it's not okay, but it's. I know a lot of straight guys that wear bright colors. I get it.
Colors
but
mean
colors
nothing.
are colors, yeah. And so, but the way he said it was like he was questioning himself. This kid.
Yes.
So
And
he
Larry's
was feeling something, and even when he said, "Are you attracted to men?" He's like, "No."
Larry's like, you're not gay.
And
but
he
you need
kept
to-
saying
You
it.
need to be with me. Larry tells Dan, hey, good news. You can come stay with me in the summer in my apartment in New York
He
City.
finally got an apartment.
By the way, not his apartment. Some Asian guy's apartment he met in
Right.
prison.
And that guy left because he was getting on his nerves.
Guy said Larry was so but who says Larry's so annoying? I'm going to move out of my own apartment. Kick him out of your fucking apartment. You don't give up
on
your
the Upper East Side.
in New York. What does this guy have money for days? He's like, I'll just go get another apartment. Larry's annoying. No, you say, Larry, get the fuck out.
Unbelievable.
I was like, what? And then he's just like, yeah, I don't know what was going on in there.
Fuck.
Where did he live, this guy? You live in the limo? Where the fuck did this guy go?
Maybe that was his limo.
They
I
just
don't
kind of
know.
like just said like he left. And you're like, wait, what? He left?
And they never talked about him again.
But at the end, he was like, yeah, kind of in hindsight. Like he kicked him out after 5 fucking years
5 years.
of living in his apartment.
So he's a squatter on
Yes.
top of everything else.
A freeloader.
Freeloader. Ain't that what the squatter is? Like
Kind of
that's
squatter
just-
though, like you're illegally staying in somebody's house.
That's illegal.
This is Larry using some idiot
Oh.
who's paying his rent.
So Larry was paying the rent though.
Yeah, well, I think. So everybody from the house.
Not from his hard-earned dollar.
Larry's got everybody staying in there. He's got like 5 of these kids in there.
Yeah.
And then Isabella, though, is in Larry's bedroom. And he's like, she needs a lot of extra help, guys. So she's going to come in the bedroom. By the way, his daughter's in there, staying in that place where Larry's boning her best friend, which is great.
I can't. It's just, it's all so fucking, it makes me angrier even talking about it. It really does.
You're gonna
Like,
get mad.
I'm not recommending this documentary because
Oh,
I
shit.
fucking hate them.
Don't say that. Don't
I
ever
just
say
did.
that again.
I said it.
Larry, this becomes Camp Larry. Comes up with like a playlist every morning they all have to listen to.
They have to do sit-ups.
They all have to
Or
work out
push-ups or
every
something.
morning because he claims he was a Marine, which we find out later he was not a Marine ever.
This is what I'm saying. These are giant red flags. That I knew he wasn't a Marine from the second. Just because he tells you to work out doesn't mean he's a Marine.
And he's like, you got to do 600 push-ups a day.
Jesus
Again, you'd be like,
Christ.
shut the fuck up, Larry.
I mean, maybe I'm a little too close to the Marine thing, but my daddy's a Marine.
you know a Marine when you see one.
Goddamn right I
Especially
do.
naked.
When did this
Wow,
take
that's
place?
uncomfortable.
This is like 2012,
2012,
around there?
Okay,
well,
so this is fairly
2011.
recent.
Yeah, this isn't that long ago.
That's what I'm saying. There's Google. There's
You could look this dude
At
up
this
and you
point,
could find out.
Easily,
again
yeah.
with the
yeah,
Google.
he was not a Marine.
But I guarantee he's like, well, because I was CIA, they had to scrub.
That's right,
blah,
because
blah,
he
blah.
kept
there
saying
we
he
go.
was special resources. He was this. He
He's
was that.
Special needs. this
Special
fucking guy.
needs for sure.
So Larry, this is where Larry takes some cult leader 101. And he's like, look, everybody's an extremely sexual being. We live in a puritanical society. We got to start fucking.
Larry's ahead of his time.
No, he's
2012. He was on time.
yeah, he's right
Exactly
on time. So Isabella starts hooking up with this guy Dan, who's questioning his sexuality. And Dan's like, was she sent out? Because like all of a sudden she comes out because they're like sleeping in the living room like it's a fucking log cabin on the floor.
But this is the part.
Except Larry the king and his lady.
Larry
Isabella,
the cable guy won't leave.
get her done.
Was it Larry the cable guy? Oh no, what's the cable guy? The movie I'm thinking of.
Oh,
it just is like becomes a crazy person. Well, he's telling him what to do.
Dan
That's
says
so fucking crazy.
Larry became my sexual professor and Isabella was the TA. So Larry was basically telling this young lady to bone this guy while the daughter in the apartment.
Now, I didn't go to college in the dorm.
I didn't go to this kind of college.
Did you have this kind of experience?
Yes, a lot of parents would come in and they would run fuck academies, and it's how I learned how to have sex.
Did you learn how to touch the lower
They'd
back of a woman?
They'd have laser pointers, and they'd be like, "Touch right there." I'm like, here.
I love it. He
This?
goes right there. And
Yeah,
they're
Larry'd
just
be
yelling.
like, "Here's what you do."
Right.
Larry's very intense the way he
I
talks.
know.
He's like, "Dan, you're fucking it up, Dan."
Dan, what are you doing? No. And then Dan goes, this is how sweet he is. I'm sorry, Dan. I hope you're well. I really do. But he goes, no person has ever reacted that way when I touch them. So
Yeah, he's like, "Wow, she's
yeah, it's called she's a professional now because cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
when she's got to put on a show for Larry. You know,
Yes.
she's got to keep him happy."
Larry's like, this girl's like, I want to stay in the big room.
Say what you want about. I want to stay in a bed. I have a back problem. Say what you want about Larry. I'll agree with him here. He says Gregorian chanting is great music for
Now that-
fucking. That's the good stuff.
He goes, when Dan goes, and again, Dan, I'm sorry, but when he goes, yeah, he said it would be a good idea if we had this Gregorian chant going, and I was like,
You're fucking with this
huh?
old ball. They start having a threesome. Dan, Larry, and Isabella. Who doesn't want to fuck with this?
I love this. Now, is
now we're getting
Larry
down.
partaking in Dan, or are we only partaking in Isabella?
Who knows? Larry, though, knew how to party.
Wow.
So these idiots start going back to school. So
he dumps his girlfriend, and now he's having a threesome
with Larry and this other woman.
Yeah, and he's frustrated. He's, not sure of his sexuality.
So he's like, why not sample everything?
This.
What do I like?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
So they're going to school during the day, and then Larry's at night. What a good life. And then
Guys, what are you learning in school? Because you're not learning anything at home.
Santos's sister, I think her name is Yalitza. She comes on board.
Yes. Yeah, I liked her. I liked her a lot, but I felt bad. Because when she said she came in, she was like, oh, this is like a lot of people together, family.
Sweet. Yeah, it's a great
And,
hostel.
Yeah, like I'm alone.
I could live on the floor.
And this is the vulnerability. I'm alone and I'm this and I'm that. I liked her and I felt crazy bad for her.
This is when Larry starts cutting up the Adderall to help
at
him
her.
focus.
Yeah. Now, Larry, I could use right now. I need some Adderall.
So he says you got to stay awake a long time. You got to become raw. You got to break through. This is Larry's mojo. By the way, he was sleep depriving them like a motherfucker.
Could we Google at this point in time if he's a therapist?
Larry? Oh, we know he's not, but I think he's like, I'm a prison therapist. Whatever. He's just like, I know this stuff. But he would, like a lot of cult leaders, he would talk very circularly. Like he wouldn't say anything.
That's what they do, though.
But you'd be like, wow, that's so deep. But he's not saying anything. He's just like, you got to break through. But like all this bullshit with like flowery
cliche
language.
bullshit.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, Larry knows. He's lived life, man. He knows Gorby.
Him and Gorbs go out a lot. And they
man, look at his pictures of him and
chant
Gorby.
music, and they.
So then Larry, he turns it on him a little bit, and then he starts accusing them all of like breaking his shit all the time. And he'd be like, why'd you break this? And they'd be like, I don't think I broke it. And he'd be like, you did it. And then he would convince him. He would do like the Bugs Bunny. Like, yes, you did.
The Bugs Bunny?
And they'd be like, yes, I did. And I'd be like, what? Why you didn't do it? Why are you saying you did it?
Duck season. Rabbit season.
Yeah,
rabbit season.
Oh, it is duck season. Oh, that's what it was. It was just him repeating, you did it. And they'd be like, you know what? I did do it. I'm like, you didn't do it.
I listen, I'm going to come clean. I've been in verbally abusive relationships.
With Larry Ray.
With kooks. That they try to do stuff like that. And sure, the first time I stayed a little too long, I'm like, no, this isn't, I didn't do that. No. But it comes to you. And I was young. Like I was 19, 20. So and then after a while, you're like, I'm not fucking listening to that. And then all of a sudden you're single.
Well, these people
wait a minute.
Took them a long time to say, I'm not listening to that.
Yeah.
Santos was his big target
a long time.
For why you breaking stuff.
Yeah.
This guy, Larry, claims Santos broke $50,000 worth of shit in the apartment. He's like, you owe me $50,000.
Wow.
He's like, you're on the hook. So Santos has asked his parents for money, who are just like working class.
These poor parents, they were so
like sweet seeming.
Immigrant, non-English speaking, so it's confusing.
The
to
mom's
them.
like is praying.
Her heart. Oh yeah, I leave it to Jesus. Oh my God.
They put like a shrine for the kids with their pictures. They're like, we just want our kids back. So Santos's mother, they have no money. She pawns her necklace is like one of the only things she has. Gives him the money. I'm like, don't give him the money. Gives him the money. Santos starts asking everyone in his life, like, I need, like, on campus. Be like, fuck you. Remember he called the one guy?
Yeah.
He goes, the guy with the Hawaiian shirt. He goes, hey man, I need like $30,000. And the guy goes, he's like, I don't forget his job. But he's like, dude, I'm like delivering pizza. He's like, I don't have $30,000. That was the guy who's like, Larry's a fucking idiot.
Larry's an idiot. And then what I'm saying is, please, kids, don't wise up a little bit.
Yes.
I was freaking out on the kids because I'm like, this can't be. Who the fuck would go ask for that kind of money from their parents?
Yeah.
Like, how you grew up. Did you forget?
Also, what was in this apartment that he's claiming is worth $50,000?
Yeah. Did you see the apartment looked like something on an episode of Hoarders?
Well, Larry was a huge hoard. Everywhere he went, turned into a hoarded nightmare.
And then he kept digging shit up, and
he got into woodworking. The guy bringing in woodworking equipment to a small apartment, like a professional, like tools and shit.
Yes.
And he's like, "What did you do to the pan?" He's like, "You scratched the pan."
Yeah, and
it's $80,000. What are his prices coming up with?
Have you ever been to Sears, buddy? Like, I don't understand.
Oh shit!
Just go buy him a new pan.
But I bet he's like,
it would have cost you a lot less.
A guy like this though is probably like, that was Napoleon's pan. It's worth $50,000. And he's like, oh no, I did it. I'm sorry, Larry.
Dude, I'd be at a pawn shop. I don't know. I'd find something. That's crazy.
And also, if you say I'm not paying, what's he gonna do? He's like gonna kill you?
Yeah.
Is he gonna beat you up? You're like, all right, I'm not paying you $50,000.
Other people have left and they didn't die.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is people started just like walking. They're like, all right, I'm out.
Bye.
I'm done. Claudia, the girl Claudia, the artsy one, sends like randomly all of a sudden sends an email to the dean of students like, the stuff I used to say about Larry were lies.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait, what? I think the dean was like, who's Larry?
That's the video, right?
Yes.
So they made her put the video out.
Yeah, Larry's like, you got to send it. And this is like all the people in the dorm were on it and like the dean of students.
Yeah.
And the dean was like, whoa, what the this is probably when the dean was like, uh-oh.
Everything I said was a lie. I mean, you probably see the gun.
It was very much a hostage.
Coming in and out of the shot.
It was a hostage
awful.
video. Yeah, I was like, hello, what do you want me to say? What's that poster board say? So they come out now. This is very out of order how they did it. They say Larry was indicted for stock fraud with Russian mobsters. The wife leaves him. This is all before this. He thinks his ex-wife is an old pal of this guy, Bernie Kerik, who was the old commissioner
Right.
of police in New York.
Right.
He claims they fucked him, and they sent him to prison. He said this Bernie Kerik guy turned on him because he blew the whistle. They didn't really get into what it was.
Yeah.
And so he thinks that like everything stems from this Bernie guy fucking him over, and his ex-wife too.
Right.
His ex-wife, by the way, they had big problems. He took that girl Talia. He got accused of kidnapping her.
Right. No. That was a accurate accusation.
Yeah, he abducted her, and that he violated his parole. That's why he got the 3
Right.
years in prison.
Right. And that's why the kid was convinced that he did nothing wrong because he was already manipulating her brain and making her think ridiculous.
He starts thinking this Bernie Kerik guy is working with these college kids to sabotage him.
Now, see, here's the thing. This is where it gets weird.
Yeah, you're like,
it's already weird.
You're
but
like,
this is where it gets
you're
real
like, does he
fucked
believe
up.
this, or is he
right? Is he using that as a manipulative tactic?
I think he believes it. I think he's paranoid, and he's doing tons of drugs. They said he would stay up all night and be fine.
So he's on Adderall. So
Yes,
he's like fucking
out of
basically coked up.
Out of his mind.
Coked up, telling stories, believing all this shit. And drugs do shit like that too. Have you ever met somebody that believes they were being poisoned or something like that?
No.
Oh my God. It's not good.
You just said there's poison in all the walls, Eleanor.
I learned it from my
count?
friend. I learned it from my friend.
I learned it from watching you.
Also, this is claw. Oh, sexy. Also in walls, like they say that, like in walls, there's like dead rodents, there's this, there's that. Like you can't I guess from growing up in row homes, I always thought there was crazy shit in the walls. Like if you put a hole in the wall, I was like, we got to fix that immediately.
No, you're like, we got to look what's in there. It's a treasure.
No treasures in there. No treasures. Just the neighbor. You can pull the neighbor's leg.
You're like, oh, there's Jimmy
It's
Hoffa.
that close to the neighbor.
So you grew up believing in poisoning.
No. So a friend of mine, or an old friend of mine, he believed that people were trying to poison him.
Okay.
However, he did get poisoned.
He did get poisoned?
He was a college in college he was like he was a baseball like prodigy. They were like, he's going to be gigantic, and he was amazing, and he was from the neighborhood. He was a little older than us, and he was in college. He was at a party, never drank ever. He drank something and it had drugs in it. Maybe Ari was with him.
Yep.
I don't know.
I put a sock on the car. You violated it?
So he drank it and he literally lost his mind.
Whoa.
Lost his mind.
Was it
and
roofies?
So
what was it?
It was roofie. Well, whatever they had.
But
everybody was partying.
It affected him long term.
It hit him long term.
Wow.
His whole career, everything gone. So he was like a neighborhood staple. That if you'd offer him something, oh, that's got poison, that's got poison, that's got poison. And I was like, but it happened to him. So it was like.
Do you think maybe, though, he was mentally ill and it kind of triggered?
No. I'm telling you, went to school with my brother Jimmy. Wow. They said this kid was unbelievable. It just affects everybody different. It's whatever drugs.
Do you think it was a rival? It was like a Tanya Harding.
Now, the problem is he was walking around the neighborhood and we would make fun of him because we're assholes, but we didn't know. I mean, we would hang out with him in a fun way.
He was trying to.
But we would do impressions of him. I guess we wouldn't make fun.
He was trying to warn you guys, and you guys made him real laughing stuff.
Yeah, but he was still like attracted to girls, so he would come up and he'd be like, hey, you want to date me for a little while? And I was like, what's a little while?
He's like, are you poisonous? And then he would scan your body with like a wand.
How long is it going to be? But yeah, I mean,
did he still play baseball?
We also
in the
protected
streets?
Him, like he was like our weirdo, if you will.
He was like your radio.
Right. We were like, if somebody bothered him, we would kill them. Like we were like, this is our
don't
guy.
Poison Bobby. We make fun of him.
His name was Johnny.
Leave him alone. Did he give baseball tutorials in the parks?
No, and he would play basketball once in a while with us, like just 'cause, again, we were kids.
Can't
just happened to
some
him.
of those balls are poisonous.
And then he would just walk away.
Just in the middle of the game?
In a corner, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And we'd be like, all right.
Do you pass it to him, or you just leave him over
No,
there?
I just leave him over there. We knew what he was. So
okay, that's
cool.
But
me and my brother Bobby did impressions of him a lot.
Well, we'll call Bobby at the end of the show. Get one.
Want to? We will. You want to date me for a little while? I one time I said, you get your hair cut? He goes, that's all muscle. I was like, all right.
The hair? You do have pretty muscular hair today.
Today I do. Today my hair is buff, brah.
Your hair looks like it's been in the gym for a while.
You want to date me for a little while? Do you know Madonna? He would always ask me if I knew Madonna. Anyway, go ahead.
What the fuck?
I loved it.
What a college party this guy went. Was it at
Poor
Sarah Lawrence?
baby. That would be. Did they have a baseball program? No.
Jesus.
But it was out of Philadelphia, out of state. So wherever he was, he had to come back.
This is like Len
His parents had to get him back.
Like Len Bias, who
Yeah.
did Celtics were going to draft this guy. They said he was the next Michael Jordan.
Ooh,
They
and a
claim
heart
he did
explode.
cocaine once. I don't know if I buy that, but yeah, he did the coke, and he fucking dead.
What's his name? Ryan, the honeydew, Sickler. Sickler went to school in Baltimore, and they used Len Bias as like a don't do drugs. Like he was like,
look what happened
look
to his
what
heart.
happened to him one time.
Like, you have sex one time, everyone's getting pregnant.
Your dick falls
Len
right
Bias
off.
had 10 kids. You're like, well, yeah, Len Bias all the time. So back to Larry. He's accusing the Santos becomes like a big whipping boy target.
Unbelievable.
By the way,
target.
because Talia dumps him, by the way. Now he's stuck with her dad.
If Santos had a vagina, he could have been doubling down on this.
What,
This money.
Fucking Larry?
Yeah. Getting fucked and pimping him out.
Larry's like, you're lying. Santos says he's willing to wear a wire. I don't even know to talk to who. It's just like, I'll wear a wire. He starts doing these long fucking written confessions that are like pages and pages and pages.
Oh my God. This is so sad. It kills me.
Larry wanted to send recorded confessions to the authorities to like clear himself. Like, it wasn't me. These kids were working with this Bernie guy.
And that's why he kept yelling, I'm the victim.
Yeah, like, you
And
guys
I'm
are
like, you're
fucking me.
victiming me. I was like, is victiming or I never heard it that way.
Larry, it's a Gorbachev thing. Isabella was Larry's
Russian word.
right-hand woman. She was documenting everything with she was doing cell phone shit. They said she was close to Larry's equal, which comes back to haunt her in the end.
She definitely drank the Kool-Aid the most.
Oh, she was drinking it right out of Larry's penis.
Yeah. She drinks more than Bert Kreischer Kool-Aid. She drank a lot of Kool-Aid.
Santos is, this is when it gets into his sister Felicia, which is, like you said, probably the saddest story here. Went to Harvard, Columbia Med School, comes to L.A. doing a residency in psychiatry.
This is the hardest part, psychiatry.
But a lot of times people who get into that.
They can't read it?
They get into that because they want to find out about themselves. Like, why do I have some issues? Not everyone.
Okay, but my question is this. It's like you're in this, you're studying this, and it's so you can spot it. That person has this. Yes. That person has, I can diagnose you. I might not be able to diagnose myself.
She fell prey. I don't know why.
Because a lot of doctors are fucked up on all, know, you'll see a doctor tell you don't smoke, and then you'll see him out smoking.
And then you're doing drugs with him.
You're like, okay.
And you're having sex with him. And you work for him.
But it got to the point where she thought her family was against her.
Yes. Well, she comes
poisoning.
She comes to New York to visit her brother.
Oh no, they were going to kill her. Somebody was going to kill her.
Visit Santos. Love at first sight. Larry's such a hot piece of ass. Love at first sight with him. Like, they're having a long distance relationship. So like almost immediately, she calls the New York headquarters, Larry's fucking camp, hoarding. And she's like, people are after me because I'm dating Larry. And Larry's like, we need to get her out of LA. We got to do a mission. She's in, so like not long after, boom, she leaves her residency, all her dreams, moves in with Larry in New York.
He got her. It was that quick.
Now there are 3 Santos and 2 of his sisters.
3
all of the family. There's not one sibling exempt.
Again, these poor Dominican parents that don't, the language is obviously second. They don't understand what's happening. They're trying to figure it out. They're leaving notes at the house.
By the way, they brought up issues with the father. Do you think there is something, though, that they had some sort of father issues because they're looking at Larry as some sort of father
Definitely
type?
had some father issues.
Yes.
This is what it made me think of, and this is terrible. And but when
you didn't have a backpack,
I had a friend. I'm just gonna say I had a friend, Mexican, right? And he would we would joke about stuff, right? And then he said one time, like his dad would say, "Hey, I'm going out for a while. It might be a day. It might be a couple of months.
Whoa.
When I get back, everything is better be the same as it was when I left." And the mom stayed loyal to him for years.
Where was he headed?
And he would leave for months at a clip.
What was he doing?
Nobody knows.
To this day?
No, he's gone, and so is my friend.
But no one knows where he went? Wow.
So who knows if he would
So as a father, I can
bunker down with another woman,
I can do
whatever.
That? I've never even thought of that as an option.
So when the way that they brought up the kid, I thought maybe the dad did stuff like that, where he just disappeared, and here's the mom working and keeping the house together, and struggling and not having help.
And then here comes Daddy Larry to the rescue.
So the daddy issues come in. And again, it could be, that could be how they do it in the Dominican, or like my friend in Mexico. I don't know.
Here's what Larry tells Santos and the sisters. Look, your father was a drug dealer, okay? By the way, how does he know this? Was he there? He's just like, I know your father was a drug dealer. And by the way, he also raped you guys.
Yeah, that's another thing.
And they're like, wait.
More molestation. They made him believe it.
He loves the molestation.
Yes.
You can't talk without your pen.
Because that's an easy target.
You can't talk without the pen. You're like a news anchor.
Let me get this pen.
You just need it in the hand as like just as a prop. The parents sold their house, their car, and gave they say $300,000 to the. I'm assuming they went into debt to the kids to go to Larry. This piece of shit.
My heart. I mean,
money they didn't have. They sold their house.
How do they get anything back?
They don't. And the kids wouldn't talk to him. They eventually do, but for a long time.
It took a long, long time.
Yeah.
But my problem is like, as a parent, I mean, again, it could be an immigrant thing. Like he preyed on the immigrant, like that this is an American way.
Well,
Who knows?
Santos had mental issues.
Definitely.
And Larry told him, hey, you know what's a good thing for you? Get off your psych meds. Great idea.
You definitely could see it in Santos's eyes.
Yes. And a lot of them, Santos, I think now, when he's speaking in the present, seem kind of dead. Just because, I mean, you going through this is 10 fucking years.
10 years of their lives.
With
their sister, the sister, how do you say her name again?
Yalitza?
Yalitza. When she left, I mean, she like ran away. Like she like.
Yeah, like legitimately.
She was escaping.
In the middle of the night, ran.
Like I could just jump on this train and
like
figure it out.
Like I'm going. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm out of here.
Because I keep doing everything wrong.
It was like
that's how she felt.
It was like a prison escape.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm running into the woods and I'm going. I'm out.
And the older sister, Felicia, was just buying everything lock, stock, and barrel and was no help.
She was there the longest, her and the girl Isabel.
Yes.
You know what one of my favorite parts of this documentary was? Because this is such a heavy fucking, like when you watch stuff like this, you can start to kind of feel crazy. You know what I mean? Like there's all this stuff. You're like, man, this is making me feel like anxious.
Like it's getting me angry, anxious.
And just kind of you start feeling weird. Like you're like, oh man,
furious. So at the top of my list.
In the midst of this, they keep showing this guy Dan, who was fighting with his sexuality, his parents, who are like these like innocent.
Thank you for the birthday wish.
Just very white people.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So they keep showing interviews, and the father reads an email he sent Dan, basically like, I love you, whatever's going on. Like,
but still, I feel for them too.
And so then the father reads the email, he turns to the wife, and he goes, that's a good email. And the wife goes, that is a good email. It was such like a genuine. He just wanted it known.
They're very supportive of one another.
He just wanted it known that he felt like I did. That was a good job I did right there.
Hey, I tried.
It didn't work.
You read that email? I tried.
And then it gets...
What if that was the only email he sent to him the whole time?
Then it gets... We go from that nice moment to dark.
It gets darky dark.
Larry filming himself. He puts Dan's tongue in pliers. He's
this part
pulling the tongue out with the pliers. Not out of but like just like pulling
it. But enough
putting pressure.
Okay, I'm gonna.
And he's like, "What'd you do, Dan? You're pissing me off." He's like, with his tongue. I'm like, this is crazy.
That is.
And the Isabella lady's filming all this shit, just like, yeah, Larry.
You know what you did, Larry. Not Larry.
Yeah, she's like, Dan, come on.
Dan, come on, fess up.
Larry then starts hitting him with a fucking ball peen hammer hard in the body. Hard body shots. He's like, me and you are going to fight it out tonight, Dan.
It's giving me anxiety even re-talking about it. Like, because again, we got hit growing up. I know you didn't because you had a backpack. But weird shit.
I use the backpack as a shield.
Weird shit. Yeah, that would be a good one. One time my brother Billy this is probably why we didn't have backpacks, because the book was just loose and he put it in his pants when my dad was hitting him.
Well, I got beat up, but it was by my brother. It wasn't by my parents.
Right, but
with weapons.
This is clear torture. Like,
Yes.
it's one thing,
Oh, yeah.
okay, we broke everything in the house or we stole
No,
a
this
car.
is for no
you
reason.
know,
Stole a car.
Wait a
Classic.
minute,
You guys are
that's
grounded.
You guys.
Grand Theft Auto.
How dare you? You know, so, yeah, there was things, but this is fucking
Larry reveals
torture.
here. Yeah, remember what I did to your penis, Dan? Larry says he wrapped a
Throws
rope
it
of
up.
aluminum foil around Dan's wango and balls, and then he starts twisting it and tightening it like I don't even know what you would call that.
And Dan was like, I don't know if I'm gay.
He's like, but I enjoy
That
the
felt
tinfoil
Just
torture.
kidding. Sorry, Dan. Sorry. Because these are real people. This is the part that hurts the most. These are real people that have to live in life now, society.
I don't
now.
know how you live with knowing.
I don't know how you go it-
live with how you ever trust anybody again.
No trust. No trust in yourself or anyone else.
You're like, I have no judgment.
You're like, if I fell for this, I can't go to
like if someone
Starbucks.
tries to sell
I can't.
you,
Like,
you
I
go to the
don't-
bank. They're like, do you need another debit card? You're like, no, leave me alone.
Stop fucking, you know, and then you just lose it
And
on
then you see
somebody.
tinfoil, and you're just like, no. Yeah.
Would you like that to go? Oh, like,
I'm gonna twist it around your balls, Dan. And Isabella's like, wait, Larry, I need a different angle. I need a different
especially
shot.
one of those fancy restaurants where they bring it out like in a duck, like the foil's all in a
like,
duck.
No. Dan,
It's too much foil.
Dan's alone one night in the apartment. He goes up to the roof. And he's like looking at the city, and then he's like, you know what? Maybe Larry's a bad guy. After all this time, after his balls twisted in tinfoil and hit with a ball peen hammer. Hey, Larry may not be as cool as I think.
I don't think Larry knows what he's doing.
Maybe Larry isn't a psychiatrist.
Maybe we should check his degree.
So Dan
Like,
moves.
What school did
Dan
he
moves out. But and by the way, like we said, when people move out, nothing happens. He left, and that was it. He's out.
Nothing. He didn't chase him. He wasn't getting money out of him
No.
anyway,
yeah,
right?
but it's just like, all right, yeah, leave.
Was
Dan.
he the one they weren't getting? He wasn't getting money
No,
out of.
he wasn't.
That's why he was going.
He was
the
just
extra.
in the sex camp
Right.
with Larry. and the lady.
Right.
Santos is doing so well. He gets put on medical leave from school. Things are going so well. He moves into New.
Again, my heart.
These people
I'm
move.
so sorry to you guys.
These people moved to North Carolina to Larry's like stepdad's place, I think.
Yeah, this is
Larry's
where they were
like-
digging stuff up.
Larry's
and there was
like-
mold.
Larry's like, I'm gonna fix up this place as a gift to my dad. This becomes like a work camp.
Oh yeah,
They're driving fucking like backhoes and shit, like big construction equipment.
giant equipment. That's where the girl ran away from.
I'm like,
The
what
Yahtzee.
is going? They're working all fucking day and night. And by the way, that place
but
was a
now
hoarded
none of them are in
shithole.
school.
Hoarded
now.
shithole with just dug up yard that looked like an insane.
But now none of them are in school.
No, they're all in North Carolina.
That's what I mean. At
Becoming
this point-
construction workers.
They leave school. They're like, oh yeah, that was cool, but we're not going to learn anymore. Larry's teaching us. The fuck out of here. Like, no. Does Larry give you a degree? Like, I don't get it. I hate this guy, and I do hope he gets gang raped every day in prison.
That's nice.
Sorry. That's how I feel.
This is when Felicia starts slowly descending into madness.
Yeah.
And it's so bizarre because at the beginning, like intelligent, speaks intelligently, and then just like speaks with this cadence that's like almost like not human. It was like robotic.
Yeah.
It was very bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't
She
know.
also, Felicia had this thing, right? She would go, that's nervous hilaria. When
Yes.
she's talking,
She was manic. Like it was
so bad. She was like, and this is where Larry would keep his stuff, and we would all just sit in a circle. And I was, nobody's seeing this? What the fuck?
and they're like, let's go do some more work for Larry's stepdad.
My friend, Princess Corey, we have a joke because she always talked about like work would be so crazy or whatever. Like, and Marge Simpson has this thing. She goes, and I'll repress the rage I'm feeling. Like, and so she always does that. And it's this nervous laugh that she would get. Oh my God. But it is really a thing. And if you prey on it, you're sick.
Yes, Larry's
I'm
a
sorry,
sick
I'm just-
motherfucker.
Larry
was
hate
sick.
this fucking documentary.
Larry-
I never want to talk about it or thinking about it.
Larry got a leg wound out of nowhere.
Yes.
And this is where Larry steps up his game. His leg wound's not getting better. He accuses Santos' sister Yalitza of giving him the leg wound. She admits to poisoning him and poisoning her sister in L.A. She did it. This is all me. Says her parents put her up to it. That's when she runs away to New York, like we said, without no contact with the family. Like she just goes off the grid.
Right.
Like she's like, I'm out.
I'm out. I'm not talking to anybody. But also, as an ex-wrestler, I know when you get a little cut, you can make it a bigger cut.
You think Larry was hitting it?
Absolutely.
He's doing Marky Mark from the
oh,
movie
yeah.
Fear?
And he's
the
just
chest?
making it a little bigger, make it bleed a little more and show, like, look what you did to me.
So this video footage, again, very disturbing. Santos tells Felicia, he's like, because she's hysterical and she won't stop yelling and stuff. And he's like, every time you make a noise.
This is all manic.
Every time you make a noise, I'm going to hit myself. He's slapping himself in the face, full throttle. I mean, this has gotten beyond out of control. Just like, stop.
Yeah,
and, and she's like, everyone's yelling. I'm like, this is chaos. He leaves eventually. He gets out.
Again, runs away, disappears.
Yeah, gone.
No, I'm not talking to anybody. They don't talk to their family. They don't go back to
don't
their
talk
family.
to the
They
siblings.
Don't go back to, nothing.
Everyone's alone. Everyone's like, I'm on my own.
Everyone's isolated.
Then it comes out there's on the website again, Claudia's admitting to poisoning a bunch of people. She comes back into the fold.
Guys, I'm sorry for poisoning everyone.
She's like, I poisoned the school.
I'm fine myself, but I poisoned all of you. Larry is a god. I love him. He's great.
So the girl from the beginning, Raven.
Just no blinking. Just
Dan's lady Raven starts playing private detective, and she's like, I need to find Claudia. She seems like she's in trouble. Traces a phone number on the website, escort service. I was like, what the fuck?
He was pimping her out. That's what I meant with Santos. He could have been doing doubling down. What was he up to? He was in the millions, like 25 million, something crazy.
This lady made like 3 million. I was like, should I be an escort? Over like 2 years. It's not a bad.
I told you, OnlyFans. Like, get out there.
Yeah, seriously.
And if you start doing like porn on there, even better.
One of the old roommates who hated Larry goes to the cops, and he said they laughed him out. They're like, you're an idiot. Get the fuck out of here. He's like, all right, guys, thanks for your time. So Raven,
because even the cops are like, that can't be real.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
So Raven and this dude, I think his name was Max, they go to a freelance reporter. And they're like, you need to look into this guy, Larry Ray. And this is when it comes out Larry changes his name from Larry Greco to Larry Ray to make a new identity, which is always never shady. He was never a Marine. He had a psych eval during his custody battle. It said he can manipulate and control any situation. They said he needs an audience.
Yes.
So the reporter's like, he needed an audience so bad that he would talk to me about like anything.
Yeah.
Like admit all this shit.
And make him seem like the good guy,
yes,
and that he was helping these very, very disturbed kids.
He said he admits Claudia was giving him money from the escorting. Tells a media guy this. I said, she's giving me millions to make up for poisoning me. He's like, oh, okay. Well, now that you say that, yeah, sure. The government plays a tape of Larry threatening Santos with a hammer. And Santos is like, holy shit, I was in a cult.
So
like, you think? You fucking Jesus,
as
man.
he's holding his ribs, his broken ribs that never repaired.
By the way, you know somebody's threatened hammer.
I do. I know a lot of people that threaten a lot of things. But I just realized, talking about all this, I'm in an abusive relationship right now.
Oh, jeez.
And you know what? This documentary made me...
Are you going to get hit with the hammer?
I've been getting hit with a lot of things. I think me and the comedy business are in a really bad relationship.
Who isn't?
Entertainment, you really are fucking me over.
Entertainment.
This hurts.
Entertainment's Larry Ray.
Larry doesn't have shit on entertainment. But
when Claudia sees the article, she's like, oh, wait. Like
they're making me believe I'm funny.
It's almost like she took the article and was like, oh, like now I can see it. Like,
yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
So she gets out.
But she wasn't interviewed, right? Was it Claudia that wasn't the one?
Yeah, she wouldn't take part. Nor would the daughter, because I think the daughter's like,
Well, the daughter also, by the way, the daughter's gone at this point.
She lives with the
she left.
She moves with Larry's stepdad, is where she is now.
Larry's stepdad?
Yeah, is where Talia is. Her grand step, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I see what you said. Yeah. Wait, so she's
just gone though. She
left before all these other people left, and nobody was like, "Oh wait, his daughter left."
It's like, oh, but the boyfriend's still here.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
But the daughter probably adding on more issues to more
May
issues.
have known, like, I gotta get
No,
away.
she just started feeling like he's not paying any attention to me.
He's fucking my friend.
Because she's not bringing anything to the table.
She's like, maybe I should be an escort.
And he's not going to pimp out his own kid. Maybe. Maybe he would.
Not yet.
Times are tough.
Episode 3, because there's 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Episode 3, I thought, was a little, it kind of, because it just got away from, like, so that's when the episode
because
2.
now it goes into.
Episode 2, they dropped the bomb of, like, whoa, we're getting Felicia and Isabella to finally talk. Because this whole time, they haven't done any interviews.
Yeah.
And they're like, wait till you see episode 3. So that's the big cliffhanger. And because this is when I think Larry has been arrested at this point, right?
Yes.
And so these two are living together.
That's when she's in the house saying, we kept our Sayara.
Yeah.
That's when she's walking around.
So they're living in this Larry's house, these two together.
Yeah.
These sister wives. Because Felicia's Larry's lady, but so is Isabella. She's like, but I don't know what's going on. They're like, we want a dog. And I'm like, that's what you guys need is a fucking dog.
Yeah, and she even said, emotional support dog. Yes.
Those dogs,
trauma support
they're
dog.
They're not equipped
you
for this sort of trauma. You would need like 50 dogs.
Yeah, you need a sleigh.
They're living in Larry's hoarded fucking shithole. The floor, I think did he tear the floors up?
He tore all of it up.
Said there was mold everywhere.
She was like, and we had to scrub it with bleach like multiple times.
You know how bad that was, you breathing in bleach all day?
Oof. And mold? That's not how you clean mold.
Felicia fully believes at this point that she was poisoned by the sister. Oh, and Felicia's like, and here's the lock on our fridge. Like,
that other people don't come in and poison our food.
But Larry was restricting that because they would show. I'm like, these people are wasting away.
Yeah.
Because he was locking up their goddamn food.
Completely.
Yeah, just controlling.
Felicia looked like a different person.
So did Santos.
Oh yeah. But he wasn't big. But he had like little chubby
skeletal.
cheeks. But yeah.
Because Larry locks the fucking.
But she was a little more voluptuous.
This motherfucker locks the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
I could just see him eating like a turkey leg in there by himself.
And then the Rosario, the other name she doesn't go by, Yalitza. I think they called her Rosario. I don't know why. Maybe
Rosario, yeah, because she was Rosario Dawson in a few movies.
Or was that their last name?
That was her last name.
Oh, okay. I'm like, why do I know that name? Yuzitsa. I can't say that, but maybe that was one of the reasons she left. She was like, I'm fucking starving.
Well, she, I think, also due to stress. But she left,
because she was a little bit of a bigger girl.
No, she wasn't at first. When she left, she gained like. I want to say like 100 pounds.
Oh, it was when she left. Okay,
but I think it was
that's
stress.
What it was in my head. It was, she's eating her feelings.
Yeah, and it was being starved. So I think it was a combo.
Right, because she was talking about going, and then the interview, she was a little bit of a bigger.
It was like unrecognized. You wouldn't have known it was the same person.
Yeah.
So then this whole episode is about these two women and Larry. It kind of gets away from like what the rest. I think they kind of were stretching here a little bit.
Definitely stretching, but it also went into Felicia and how they mended their.
Yes.
Because she finally left.
She admits that she leaves.
She did admit.
She leaves
she
Isabella.
She didn't admit for a while.
She's like,
but she left Isabella.
She's like, I don't know what's real. Like it's dead serious. She's like, I have no idea what's real. Which is like, she got to the point.
Poor girl, degree from Harvard.
Yeah, smart.
Columbia. You know how hard that is.
Was like
for an immigrant.
Not far away from being a doctor, and this guy ruined her. Ruined the family.
The family. Did they get any reparation? Like, did they get any? Nothing. They can't. Right.
They should whip Larry.
Like, what can they get out of that other than their beautiful family back? But still.
This is where Felicia reveals that Isabella, they would all sleep in the same bed.
Yeah.
Larry would sleep buck naked, which is cool. Isabella would sleep with her hand
naked too,
with her hand on Larry's dick.
Right.
But she's his
and
girlfriend.
Felicia was like, "Wait, I thought I was."
Why? What is that? Like, unreal.
Am I the girlfriend or are you the girlfriend?
I mean, she's holding the dick for her, I guess.
Guys, I'm gonna hold this. Keep it warm, so I don't have to pay any fines in the morning.
So then it kind of ends with Santos in the like, are they going to unite? Felicia finally breaks down, talks to the parents.
Yeah.
It kind of like says like, okay, they're cool. Tries to get in touch with Santos. Finally does.
And it was only the mom at first.
Yeah,
and then
it was slow.
It was
very
slow.
slow.
It was very slow. Because nobody can trust.
You can't come out.
This family was torn apart in an unbelievable way.
When they can't trust anybody.
Yeah. from this
And she would even say, like, I would
stupid
be with my
gringo.
family, and then I would hear, like, the Larry voice be like, oh, they did, and then I would have to, like, fight it. Be like, wait, no, okay, they didn't do that.
That's crazy.
And then the sister, Yalitza, they knock on her door, and she
And
will
she
only
was
talk via the peephole. She's like, I can't talk to you.
She's like,
You
I'm
gotta
not
leave.
coming out. Yeah, because she didn't know
There
if they're coming back to get
Well,
her.
and there was still, like, charges, like,
Sure.
like their lawyers.
And their lawyers, yeah. And she and Felicia was good. Like she was coming back to herself. You could see, like, when she would start
speak
rationalizing.
and she'd be more intelligent.
More intelligent. She would just be like, I understand your lawyers want you to not talk to me.
Yeah, and she's like,
that's
I love
smart,
you.
and I love you.
Yeah,
and
like,
mommy's here, whatever.
eventually, the siblings come back together.
At first, I got nervous. I thought the dad died.
Oh,
because it was just the mom and Felicia, and
the dad was with his other family.
Right, he was on his off weeks. That was his off month.
So it ends happily there.
He was dealing drugs.
But they don't say Santos's job, which leads me to believe he could be like a broken guy and working like
Poor
a real
baby.
low level gig.
Because even like when they were showing the whole at the end, spoiler alert, they show the whole family sitting together.
They're having like a great time.
Right. They're
really,
laughing and trying to like be normal. And then like one little thing, you could just see like a blank stare from Santos. And I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
it's still plaguing him, which I completely
when you have the guilt of
understand.
like, I fucked my sister's lives up bad. Because he's the one who brought them in.
Yes.
So which would be a lot of guilt.
This is all his. No, I'm just kidding. This is all. It's not your fault, Santos. It's not your fault. You were manipulated by obviously a professional nutbag.
Larry ends up getting what, like 60-something years in prison?
I
Like
don't. This
65
is where
maybe?
I say bring the death penalty back, but then or bring it in. I don't know what state he's.
But he's trying to manipulate guys in prison if he can.
100%.
If he can get to them.
He's trying to run a block, but I hope that they play this in prison so they know what he did to young people.
Guys, we have a movie night.
They have a thing about that pedophilia. They don't. It's not.
Guys, we have
pedophilia.
movie night. It's gonna be hilarious.
They're over 18, but still, whatever. It's gross.
And then Isabella, it was like she was brainwashed to the. I don't even know if she's still.
No, she's still. I think she's going to jail. She's going to take the jail
She's
time.
doing 3 years, but in the thing, she kind of like admits in her trial, she did admit like
the extortion with Claudia
Yes.
and the stuff like that,
But I don't know if she was doing that, like she believed that, or she,
Oh, she was just
because her lawyers were having a tough time. They're like, we can't represent this person because we can't even get her to testify because she's so brainwashed. And she's like, that's not true. That's bullshit. And she was getting mad. She moved to like New York, didn't she? Or like Long Island or something.
I think it was Long Island
by herself because she was the last remaining.
Brain.
She kept Larry's fucking flannel.
Wow.
She's like, oh, it still smells like Larry, and if he gets out, he's gonna wear it. And I was like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, she's fucked.
So
I hope she came around.
So she's doing 3 years prison time.
But in prison, I hope she's getting the help she needs.
What does she do when she gets out? Like what? You know what I mean? Like where do you go from there?
You don't date for a while.
I'd say ever. You imagine dating one of these people, you Google them, and you're like...
You're trying to make me think I didn't cook dinner, I cooked dinner.
You're like, oh, she was in Larry's cult for 10 years. Okay.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough.
And then the Dan guy is getting in touch with these, and I'm like, I would probably never speak to any of these people ever again.
Yeah, but when you start... If people start recognizing what happened... Then you need that camaraderie of,
and it's the only people in the world who understand them.
Exactly, because it's like numb, right? When people say you weren't there, you wouldn't understand, and that's true. We weren't there, so you can only kind of talk to people.
You're like, remember that time Larry had your tongue in the pliers, and they're all laughing.
And then Dan just puts his head down, and he's like,
Dan wrote a book. He was holding in the picture he brought up. He was holding his book. I think it's
Did
called.
He come out? Is he gay or straight?
It didn't say.
He just seemed effeminate. I don't know. It was
Who knows?
It was that one clip. He's like, I'm not gay, and then he goes, "Thank you for the birthday wishes." It was like something like that.
And Larry's
like, "It's your birthday, motherfucker."
Yeah, they didn't have Larry chat because I bet Larry was dying to take part in this call in from prison.
What
There's
is
this
it?
book. It's called Sloanham Woods 9, which is I think what their dorm was called.
Woods 9.
Is
wow.
Dan gay? We don't know.
Does it say that? No, stop it. Larry Ray, what a piece of shit. Why is there a
Larry
Cabbage
Ray.
Patch doll right next to it advertised?
That's Larry Ray as a baby.
That's Larry. That's what Larry's kids look like if
How
he
do
had
they
them.
because I'm assuming Larry had some of this money. Where does that money go? Does it just get
That's what I'm saying.
seized?
Should it be seized and given back to that family?
Claudia earned some of it.
Claudia, of course, who's worked for it.
And what does she do? 'Cause that's obviously a rough recovery.
That's a tough recovery too.
It's like, I was a escort for years because I thought I poisoned people.
I was trying to pay back the people I poisoned.
Anyway, I'm here for a job.
The guy that he would threaten with, what was his name again? The one that was trying to poison him, the one that was
the police chief.
Yeah.
Oh, that they were like best friends. They would hang out like 5 times a day.
But it turned. Oh, with that guy?
Bernie Carrick. Yeah, remember he said he's like we were best friends
before.
Yes.
But I'm saying like then he would start threatening that like the family was cohorting with him.
Yes.
And they were trying to poison. So what happened to that guy?
Bernie?
Yeah.
He's no longer the commissioner. I don't know.
Well, that's.
You think cuz of Larry?
Probably.
Larry, I looked Larry up. He had he had done some shit with like the mob, like low level, I think, and I think he was big on snitching.
It's none of my
I think
business.
he may have snitched there too.
Which explains his behavior because a snitch acts like that. A snitch is a dick.
Fuck you, Larry.
A rat. He's more of a rat than a snitch.
Think we could get Larry to call in some point? I want him to diagnose your childhood.
Oh my God, I would be a sponge for him.
He's like, you didn't have a backpack? Oh, okay.
Let me tell you why you didn't have a backpack.
Here's what happened.
Because both your parents molested you.
That's
My
what
mom
happened.
doesn't even like me that much.
That's what happened. You're like, wait, did it happen? It did. You've been poisoned. You're like,
You've been poisoned.
Is it the
you little
walls?
rat. Is it the asbestos and the drop ceiling that you had as a kid?
So you're saying you would not recommend this?
I don't like it. I mean, if you want to watch it, watch
Would
it.
you
But
give
it's
it
going
an-
to fuck with your brain.
Would you give it an F?
I'm giving it an F for failure on everybody's part.
Why? Just because?
Partake in
But
it.
are you mad at the documentary or are you mad at these
Are
people?
you talking about the actual filming of it? Or
Just like the actual documentary
I'm
as
mad
a
at the
documentary.
whole situation. I
But
can't
you're
believe
mad,
it
I think.
happened.
I think you're mad at the people, which is what Courtney was mad at.
I'm mad at the people for falling for it. I'm mad at
Yes.
him for, taking prey on I can't even
Impressionable.
speak. Impressionable.
It's the backpack.
Impressionable.
You want to hold my backpack
Let me hold
to
it.
feel the power?
Is the zipper broken?
It's
I feel like if I
worse.
touch it, it'll break.
I'll get a new one. I don't care. You could burn this. You could burn it right now. I'll go get a new one.
Oh my God, that is so Jewish. I love it.
It's great. LL Bean for life.
That's amazing.
They made a lifer out of me. I'm never moving on.
It should be called JD Bean. You're gonna own it.
Never moving on.
JD Bean is.
If you want to sponsor me, LL Bean, I'll wear top to bottom gear.
LL Bean sponsor because
I'll
I don't
wear-
believe this. I don't know how you make money if you can. Somebody can just send it in, and I do believe Jeff's the only one. I want to know the answer.
Maybe they changed it.
Let's do a documentary on LL Bean and how they survive as a company with lifelong guarantee.
Guys, we lost $10 million last year in new backpacks.
because of Jeff Danis. Anyway, well, I'm giving it an F. What do you give it?
I mean, I recommend, because you're mad at the situation, not. I think it's an interesting story. Obviously, it's crazy that it happened. I would say, I'd give it like a B.
You're giving
We
it a
go
B.
in though knowing it will enrage you. I think. Eleanor just
Giving it a
threw
B.
She threw her Pam Anderson legal notepad.
Me and Pammy know it. We know
I mean,
what's
I
up.
just think it's such an outlandish story that it's interesting to watch. You're like, how did this even happen? I don't really know how it happened, to be honest. Still, but.
Well, I say this: people should watch it. Young people should watch it, so they know
And Gorbachev's,
not to fall for some dumb
Gorbachev's
shit like
family.
this.
And Sarah Lawrence, shame on you.
No, they
You
didn't
don't
know.
think?
No, they didn't know. No.
No, but people were starting to the word was starting to get out that he was being shady, like doing shady shit. And I guess what can they do if it's off campus? Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. They're in the Upper East Side. Where are they going?
Well, no, but remember one of the parents went to them, or maybe
Which is
I read
probably why they moved away, because they didn't want the school intervening.
One of the parents went to them and said, "Hey, this guy's like doing crazy shit with our kids."
Yeah.
But in the dorm, and they go, we can't prevent a parent from visiting their child. I was like, but you can in the dorm, you can.
All right, put Sarah Lawrence in. I hate them too.
Hey, if you want to go to Sarah Lawrence, go to sarahlawrence.com.
Well, yeah, I'm done with this one.
There it is, stolen youth.
I'm done with this one.
Our youths were stolen.
It's over.
As were these kids.
My hour and a half was stolen on stolen youth.
And you lost a friendship with Andrew Dice Clay and his lady friend.
He did call twice while we were doing this, so we'll see.
Okay, you might be back.
I'm going to recommend something else.
What are you going to recommend?
I don't know.
Did you watch the Pam Anderson?
Yes, he liked it.
He did like it.
He did.
Does he know her?
Yes. No, he knows Tommy. I'm sorry.
He knows Tommy Lee?
Yeah.
Has he seen his wang?
We all
Is that because Dice is a
Who hasn't?
Is that because Dice is a drum aficionado?
That's true. That's true.
Have they drummed together?
That's true. They're drum battlers.
They've battled?
That's a drum battle thing. All right, we have to wrap this up.
Okay, we're going to get out of here. And there it is. Stolen youth.
Stolen youth.
Stolen loot. You can't even talk.
I can't because I'm so mad. And stolen youth should be shown in maybe high school so that college kids know this shit kind of happens to you. And that you're
make
impressionable.
It sound common, though.
No, but you're impressionable and weird fuckers come into your life.
Yes.
A lot of things happen to kids in college.
When you're away from your parents for the
Right.
first time, you're like, whoa, I can do anything.
Yeah.
I can join a cult.
So it's like me watching my best friend have a kid when she was 16, I was 15, so I don't have kids.
Yeah, it happens. You were scared straight.
I was scared straight.
That was part of a program.
When I saw that come out, I said, nope, not me. Nay. There, you're welcome, world. I didn't have kids.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Bye. LL Bean for sponsorship. Thank you.
Hit us up.